Hi, welcome to All About Boxing, a podcast by Oregon Sports News. This is Miriam Bautista Dai, your host. Today I come to you with a heavy heart as we have lost one of our very own local boxers in the Portland metro area, Josie Samantha Lopez. I met Josie a couple of years ago when I went in to interview the Coronado's boxing team. Coach Coronado matched me with her to spar and train throughout the night. During my off interview conversation I had with her, I could tell she was a very bright, young, and enthusiastic young lady. She was excited about being there. She was committed to being there. But more than anything, she loved being there. It is with very heavy heart that I share that we lost her on June 20th. I wish there were words I could say of how big this loss leaves not only in the boxing community but in our lives as well. She was without a doubt one of those people that brighten up your day. As I walked into Coronado's boxing and I was matched to box with her, we had been going on for about an hour. I was tired and my arms hurt. I kept looking at her and I could see how patient she was, as she could tell I had no idea what I was doing or talking about. She patiently guided me throughout the night, and as I heard a bell ring, I looked at her and said, "Oh, we're done." And she said, "No, we are not. We're only halfway there." I smiled in pain, to be honest. I didn't think I could do another hour, let alone another half minute as the bell announced us that we were about to wrap up. She looked at me and said, "Don't worry, you're doing good. You're doing okay. I'll help you. We will get you through tonight." It was impossible to quit right there and then, so I continued for as long as I could. And that's, I have no doubt, the kind of person that Josie was outside of the ring, outside of the club. I have watched her family and community gather around as they remember her and wonder, how did this happen and why did we lose such a wonderful soul? I have no answers, no one does. But what I do know is that Josie touched many lives while she was with us. Here's the last interview I did with her. I hope you feel it as much as I did as I reviewed. Forever, Josie, we miss you. We will never forget the amazing woman you are. May you rest in peace. Perfect. Okay, Josie, we've been talking with your teammates, and you and I actually, last year when I came and pretended to train with you guys, you gave me some directions. So let's talk a little bit about what has been going on since last year. So are you fighting next weekend at the Golden
I am.
Bulls?
That's the goal, hopefully. I think I heard a little bit of talk here and there that I do already have a match, but it's never for sure till the day of, after weigh-ins and whatnot. But for the most part, I've been training really hard, trying to get that weight down, make new weight class for me. I've been moving down a couple since the last time we spoke, so
Okay.
it's pretty big deal.
So tell me a little bit about your training routine. I mean, like I said, last year I was extremely impressed.
Yeah.
You were kicking butt.
Well, I kind of stepped up my game the last couple of months, and especially these last couple of weeks, trying to get down weight for that fight. This last week especially, I've been putting in 4.5 miles. So I go to school, come back home, eat something, do a little homework, sometimes take a quick power nap, and then I hit the road for 1.5 miles to school. I run the track over there for another mile, do a little something in the field, and then another 1.5 miles back. Got about an hour in between. Then I come back here and I train for another 1.5 hours, 2 hours with the boys, get my rounds in, and then go back home and sleep and school the next day.
Wow, that sounds like a busy schedule. So obviously getting ready for a fight, it's always exciting, but it's got to be nerve-wracking too.
Oh, man.
So how do you balance the excitement and the nervousness?
Honestly, it's really sometimes really hard, especially because like I'm the youngest one on the team, so like I'm the only one still going to school and stuff, and I work also on the weekend.
How old are you, Josie?
I'm 16.
16.
Yeah. So all the boys are like at least 5 years older than me, and so everything put together. They're really supportive. Anytime I need a, hey, can I come in this time instead of this? They work with me a lot, and they're not just my teammates. They're not just my teammates. They're family to me. Like they're my brothers. I can text them anytime. Hey, I need this. My coach is super supportive. Hey, do you think you can get me this? This or that, anything, and they'll help me. They'll help me with just one call.
Awesome. Now, obviously, girls have a harder time finding fights because there's such a limited number of you guys. So with this coming up, do you know of any other girls that are going to be fighting as well besides yourself?
Not exactly who, but I know we always look, especially the girls, it's like you're always watching out for any other girls at any other shows, and I think I've seen a lot more at like kind of like a lower weight class. There's not that very. That's why I'm dropping so low. I've killed like 2 weight classes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because they're either pretty big or they're like small. There's not a lot of in between. And especially with my age. And so it's been really hard, but yeah, we've been definitely we've had another girl come in from MMA though, and she
really?
She came in to spar with me. She's still way heavier, but she's like 19 also. We just got some rounds in, so anywhere is any opportunity.
That's nice. So obviously the obvious question, we are in the time of women. I think you're reading that everywhere, women's voices are being heard. Definitely. Both in the soccer field and the WNBA, obviously boxing. Yeah. So how does that make you feel as a female athlete?
It makes me feel really good, like just being able, I don't know, like when we were walking up to the ring and I got my team behind me, but I'm the one in the front. Coach is right there. He opens up the ring and I'm the girl in there. You don't see a lot of maybe one match, sometimes 2 in the whole show of 20, 50 bouts, depending on how big the show is. It's definitely like it's a rush. It's a rush that you can't get anywhere else.
I bet. What does your mom and dad think of you fighting?
Oh man, my mom was totally against it. She was She was like, no, I'm not letting you do that. I begged her for years before she finally let me, come in here. I had a close family friend who brought me in, and I was like, well, he's paying for it, so you can't tell me no. And then after that, we just she saw how much I loved it and how much I was really committed to doing it every night. 5 days a week for when we first started, it was 5 days a week, 2 hours, and she saw that I really loved it and I was really committed, and so. Yeah,
I remember I met her last year, and I asked her, I'm like, so what do you think? And she's like, oh, I tried to look away. But
yeah, definitely. And now she just, when she goes to my fights, she still flinches. I see her out there. She's like, I was flinching. I couldn't watch it. So it's okay. And it doesn't hurt.
Right. No, it is scary. So where do you see yourself as a boxer, I don't know, in the next couple of years, the next 5 years, or long term?
Oh man, I guess that's a big question. I think I got in there at a really good time. I mean, I've only been doing it for about almost a year and a half now, somewhere close to that. But putting in work with these guys who have years of experience, it's progressed my learning a lot faster than other people, and I think if I really stick to it, I think I could be something pretty good,
No, yeah, definitely. So tell me a little bit about school. What grade are you in? What are your plans?
11th grade so far. I'm really looking into realting right now. I want to do something with property, and I've had some family in the past, who's done that. So maybe a few classes here and there, business classes, marketing classes, and then I really just want to hop right in, maybe some job shadowing, and I'm involved in a few other organizations who I have connections through, so that should be a big help.
Okay. Do you play anything other than boxing? Do you do any other sport?
No, not any other sports, just extracurricular.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Josie. It's exciting. I can't wait to see how the fight goes next week.
Thank you.
Me comí todo un género entero en 10 segundos. Le saltaba estilo, se los poseo ninguno. De los que se copian, se comparan.